Good day all. Today we're going to talk about some control structures. So we'll talk about if statements, while statements, and for statements. So first we're going to create some variables, the if statements. So I'm going to say x is equal to 5, y is equal to 9. Just say if x plus y is equal to 14. Go ahead and print is 14. And so let's right click, run. Alright, notice it print the value 14. So what happened here now is the condition of the x plus y to be equal to 14 was true. So because it was true, it printed the value of this print statement. So we could also add in an else statement if it was false. We could say print the value is not 14, and let's just change the value. So if you right click, run, notice it printed the value is not 14 because the value should have been 13, so it just went into the else statement. So there's another concept where you can put in an else if, and in Python we call it elif, where we can say x plus y is equal to 13. Let's print Notice there's an error in the code. So instead of putting this as an integer, I put it as a string. So I need to remove the quotation marks. Right click, run. So now it's good. So the value is 13, which is true. So it went through this, it realized it was false, then it went to the next condition to check to see if it was true. I noticed it was true, so it printed the value is 13. So let's move along to while statements now, or while loops as we call them. So we'll set a variable I is equal to 1. So we'll say while I is less than 10, we're going to print I, and we need to put in one more line, which is I is equal to I plus 1. I'm going to right click, run. So what happened here now is the value that was assigned to I was 1. So inside the while statement it will continuously go through the statement which is true. So once I is less than 10, it will print I. So if this we did not put this last line, it will print it forever. So this last line says if I is equal to 1, add 1 to it, and then it will start over the statement. So notice this went up to 9 because the next value would have been 10 and it would have exited the while loop. However, if you put less than or equal to 10 and you run this now, it should print up until 10. Right, so let's move on to talking about for statements. So we did speak about lists before. So we're going to assign some values to lists. Now that we have the list, we're going to check the list. Alright, so once there's a value in X from fruits, it will print the value assigned to it. So it will assign apples a value, banana a value, cherry a value of X. So if you run it, you should notice that all of the items in the list were printed. So this could also be done to do some quick checks. So let's try it again. So we have a string. Now within the string, we're going to say right, so the sign of X so we need to check to see if X is equal to a value inside, let's just say T. We want to set up a count. So let's just define count on the outside. Right. Now we want to print the count. So right click, run. Okay, notice the value of 7 was printed for this for statement. So what happened is these values here were assigned to the string variable and a count was set to 0. So for each value here, it will run through the string and then it will just validate if there's a value T assigned. So the count is assigned 0. So every time it finds the letter T, it will increment by 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 T's. So it found 7 T's within this statement. So this is a nice way to verify and validate some information that you might have to work on when programming. So let's just do a quick recap. So we went through the if, elif, else, which could also be summarized as just if and else. We spoke about the while loop, and most important factor of the while loop is always having an exit criteria of the while loop. The for loop is very similar to the while loop. However, it will run for the number of instances that is there. It won't cross it, right? I'd like to thank you all for viewing. Please like and subscribe and continue to program. Thank you all. Bye.